Dear artificial intelligence, what will camping gear look like in 100 years? I like to use my manners with ChatGPT because you never know when this AI is going to turn on people, and I want it to remember that I was always nice. Wow, look at that.
Gear up and get outside.
So I thought it would be kind of fun to sort of generate some ideas here and imagine what camping gear might look like in 100 years, but not just imagine it on ourselves, because we have machines and technology that can imagine for us now with artificial intelligence. So I decided to use ChatGPT and their DALL-E model to see what it thinks camping gear will look like 100 years from now. So after I asked that first question, this is what it came up with. Wow, look at that. One thing the AI really put emphasis on is how it integrates technology and nature and tries to focus on sustainability and efficiency. So clearly those are some hot button words in our current day vernacular. So it shows this really high-tech tent that's supposed to blend in with nature, but you know, that's arguable here. Apparently in the future, if I learned anything from all these images, is that we're gonna start packing really heavy. We're gonna take the whole house, the whole living room with us. It's just gonna get very small and very aluminum. And everything comes with a holograph. That's cool. Energy harvesting devices as well. Clearly, all of these devices harvest energy. The tent is going to be embedded with thin, flexible solar panels and wind responsive elements that harvest energy. Everything's going to consume power. So much for going really green and just not consuming power. Induction heating, thermoelectric cooling technology. Environmental monitoring stations, we're going to need that because we can't just look up the weather or just look outside and stick our finger in the air for the wind like old time's sake. Interactive navigation and information systems. Gone are the days of just following those trail signs, folks. Each tent features smart fabric that can adjust its transparency, allowing for privacy or panoramic views. Oh wow, this is cool. You know, our nylon and polyester tents are all derived from petrochemicals. Where are these materials going to come from? Do we have any clear organic fibers out there? I don't think so, let alone anything that can transition. So that seems like something futuristic. There's got to be a lot of innovation in the next century in order to make that happen. But who knows? It was only 100 years ago we were just starting to drive cars, right? It looks like the future is going to be very purpose and environment specific tents. Extreme cold, desert climates, and jungle environments, and that they will function very differently. Emergency signaling capabilities are going to be integrated into the tents, but the different environments is an interesting concept, and I could see that being embraced. You know, the tent for jungle environments, I thought that's interesting. It would be raised off the ground to protect the environment below and protect against moisture and wildlife and even bugs from getting inside. All that for both the camper and the environment. That's kind of interesting. Tents for desert climates, equipped with high efficiency solar panels, but also I think what's even more interesting is a water harvesting air condenser. That's cool. I mean, sure, yeah, let's do that. Then you can go camp out in the desert for a long time, right? You wouldn't be limited by the accessibility of water. They like to throw out that sustainability a lot, and yet there is a lot of power being consumed here. Also, the occasional spaceship looking thing. What in the world is that? It's like an upside down killer whale floating. I don't know. That's a lot of blue flashing lights and people being ported up, Johnny. What's that? Beam me up, Scotty.
Scotty, beam us up fast.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Very nice. How about sleeping systems? Here we have our sleeping systems of a century from now. Self-inflating sleeping pad. Never heard of that before. Its firmness and thermal insulation properties are based on the ambient air temperature. So maybe there's a little bit of a smart sensor tech in there that's different than what we have today, but it's going to utilize materials that respond to temperature changes. And the pad provides optimal support and insulation, ensuring comfort in various climates without the need for manual adjustment. That sounds a lot like the marketing materials of today's sleeping pads, folks. But perhaps the wackiest of all the sleeping solutions it picked up was the portable sleep capsule. Apparently we will be able to sleep vertically in a capsule. All of our biometrics are going to be monitored and adjusted for so that we have a seamless night's sleep no matter where we are. Yeah, very nice idea, but how much is that going to cost? Oh, and it is, of course, an augmented reality interface for entertainment and communication. Enjoy the peaceful woods while you can, because in 100 years, we're taking tech with us. Show me what a kitchen might look like. Now this is when it got real elaborate, and I think the RV crowd is gonna go gaga because this looks pretty epic when it comes to camp kitchens. Now, it would take a trailer in itself to carry one of these kitchens, I think, to the woods, so I don't really see it happening. But right here, you have everything. Full size and larger refrigerators. You've got a full size oven. Everything has blue lights on it, of course, because it wouldn't be the future without blue lights. And then more portable fridges to go outside of your food fridge. You've got sofas that fold out. You've got, looks like a wet bar, maybe some vending machines so you can sell goods to the neighboring campers while they're out there. I mean, impressive, I guess. I gotta ask you the question there, ChatGPT. Really? How am I gonna transport that to the woods? It said, well, these elaborate setups depend on future advancements in transportation, material science, and the overall approach to outdoor activities. So I asked it to give it another go, and I said, what would a simple car camping cook system look like that could fit into the trunk of a Tesla Model 33? Okay, it looks like this one's a little closer to the mark, and they even gave me a picture of that Tesla Model 33. Way too many pots and pans, but yeah, I mean, it says everything's electric, it charges itself, it's all kind of self-contained, that's all well and good, and yet there's still some flames, so I don't know where that combustion is coming from if it's all electric. That's kind of curious, but that looks like a camp kitchen I could get behind. I'd probably leave more than half of it at home, but something would be useful, I'm sure. Now, when I asked it to give me a specific image of a backpacking cook set, this is what I got. It still looks kind of bigger and clunkier than what we have today. So maybe our priorities change once again. Maybe weight doesn't matter because the packs carry themselves. I don't know, but it looks very shiny, very titanium, and very nice. I'm sure it won't be cheap. However, one thing I found very interesting about this is that it said it would use a solid block fuel. How does that solid block fuel work? And how much does it weigh? And how long does it last? Now, since I'm into coolers, I had to ask, now what will coolers look like? And would we be still using these big, heavy rotomolded coolers like a Yeti? Or would we be moving beyond that in our lives? And once again, it looks like we'll be taking the whole kitchen, folks. That's gotta be large. If that's a single can there, man, the capacity on that is gonna be huge. This too follows the trend of generating its own energy. This is fully solar powered refrigeration. So we're gonna be going all electric once again. We're not gonna take anything, any piece of gear to the field anymore, apparently, that isn't powered somehow, isn't using or implementing some kind of technology. AI being technology itself must be somewhat biased in this respect, but the materials will somehow still be lightweight and durable. Show me a backpacking backpack from 100 years in the future. Now, the backpacking backpack of the future looks large. Once again, it looks like we're going to be carrying a lot of stuff, but don't worry because this is going to have adaptive load distribution. That sounds like a marketing term somebody should trademark right away because you're going to need that in about 100 years. It says that the adaptive load distribution technology will optimize weight distribution in real time, improving ergonomic support and reducing physical strain. It will also have energy harvesting systems to convert both solar and kinetic energy. And then it will use that to power its own self as you go because this backpack will also be an electronic device. But what does sound interesting is a built-in hydration system that also has purification technology built in. So basically you can just scoop up water straight from that stream, dump it in whatever part of your pack, or maybe it sucks it out of the stream itself, I don't know. But it's going to purify that and deliver it to you as you need it. And it's going to have biometric sensors that will tell you when you need to hydrate. Real-time location tracking, health monitoring, and communication all highlight this focus on safety and convenience. Also, consume energy and connect more technology to us. So while most of us today go to the woods, go to the trails to escape technology to some extent, apparently sometime between now and 100 years from now, there's going to be a paradigm shift where actually we go out there to immerse ourselves in it. Now, this might have been my favorite prediction of all. When I asked ChatGPT to give me some ideas of what future gadgets, gizmos, and camping tools would be that I can't even imagine right now, it gave me this image. It talked about things like multifunctional devices, GPS, quite an old technology even at this stage, and an AI guide. So AI is predicting that AI will guide us through the wilderness in the future. Maybe we will constantly have someone there that's making sure we don't get too far off the trail, or that's leading us into strange places to who knows where.
What you see here. All right, old man, breadcrumbs follow. Show me the way home.
Adaptive wearable fabric is mentioned. Thermal regulation, water repellency, and self-healing fabric. So it talks about a portable 3D food printer. Customizable meals tailored to dietary needs. Now that could be interesting. You just take a device with some kind of resin or some kind of powder that somehow goes through this mini 3D food printer, and then out the other side, boom, you got spaghetti and meatballs somehow. A smart water filtration bottle. Instant purification and health monitoring for that water you're drinking. That's not too far off. I mean, I could see that. We already have most of that, right? We have reliable ways to purify water in the woods, adding a health monitoring element to it, a little bit of tech in there. That seems approachable. I think I could see that happening even in less than 100 years. And the last image I asked it to create just for kicks was a futuristic inflatable tent, because inflatable tents have been kind of trending a little bit lately, and I'm curious about them myself. It seems like a thing that is up and coming. And sure enough, it predicted a very beautiful, a very aesthetically pleasing inflatable tent that you can go out and stay on a lake, which maybe we'll need to, because if population continues to grow, there might not be any more spots next to or around the lake. You may need to get out on the lake. This shelter is equipped with windows that can change the tent, change their opacity for privacy. It predicts a self-cleaning exterior. Get this, coated with a photocatalytic material that breaks down dirt and grime in sunlight. This feature ensures the shelter remains clean with minimal maintenance. So for you glampers out there, or folks trying to run a big Airbnb farm, here you go. It's all gonna clean itself. In 100 years, I'd love it if my grandkids are out still camping in some of the same gear I use today. But I recognize time will evolve, materials will evolve, people will evolve in how they enjoy the outdoors. I expect there will be more people that want to go outdoors, but I also expect that our access to the outdoors world will be constricted, right? There's going to be more people, likely more pollution, more issues that we've got to deal with on the environment side. So how are we going to adjust for all that? Who knows, but what do you think? I think some of the trends it points out are legitimate, and some of these products are feasible. I like the idea of tents and things like that being more catered to a certain environment as opposed to just a broad seasonal range. More niche products like just for desert environments or just for jungle environments. That seems like a more feasible business proposition for these companies making stuff. Transparent to opaque fabrics that auto-adapt, I don't know. I hope that there's not technology and sensors and devices and batteries and energy being sucked in and through all of the gear that we have. I really hope we're not that reliant on technology when we go out on a backpacking trip or we go camping in the woods. I hope that continues to be a place where we try to disconnect and find peace and enjoyment in other ways. But who knows? Only our kids and our kids' kids will know. I do expect we'll see some great evolvement in materials. I think in some ways that will benefit, hopefully, at different price points. Having the cheaper gear be still very, very high quality, and the more expensive gear of the future probably being quite advanced. Lighter weight, hopefully, although I think it's going to be more about other features that these materials offer, or tools for that matter. I do foresee things like backpacks that can help distribute the load automatically. That seems like a technology that would be interesting and feasible. I don't know exactly how it would work. With more people interested in getting out in the woods and just the way society is going, I think being environmentally conscious in the way that we design and market and use outdoor gear in the future seems like a natural progression from where we are now. I think most people are going to be on board with that, and there's not going to be so much politicization of that particular factor in the future. Okay, now it's your turn. What do you think camping gear is going to look like in 100 years? Share in the comments below. Tell me what your favorite idea was from this, and tell me what your favorite idea of your own is. I would love to hear from you. I know this video is a little different than the ones I normally do, but I had the idea and it seemed fun, so I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit that like button so I know, and if you didn't, let me know in the comments how we could make it better. Either way, I hope to see you on the next one, and in the meantime, gear up and get outside.